others. I am getting ready to turn 40 years old in May, and I guess I've done some growing up. I am very serious about getting an excellent education, and I feel like I need to do graduate work in order to try for a PhD. I think this would be good for me so that people will take me more seriously when I apply for a job, and also when I counsel. I also have hopes of writing, and I think this would help in that area. I am planning on applying to graduate school at UCLA. I am lucky enough to have friends there, and my girlfriend is also based in LA, which makes things easier for me as far as support and a place to live. My goals for a career are to be a substance abuse therapist and also a writer. I think that since I have a unique history and since I'm an alcoholic, I will be able to touch people in a way that perhaps others can't. If by writing or through therapy I can change just one person's life, I'll be happy. I will feel like I've accomplished something. I'm sorry this application is late. I have no excuse. Thank you for considering me. When Paul called Kat at her visiting faculty apartment in Chicago last April and read this to her over the phone, she had a fit. She was leaving in 2 days to give a talk in Australia. There were student essays to read, and a letter had just been slipped through the door from the management office saying it had been brought to their attention she was keeping a pet, and if the pet wasn't gone in a week, she'd have to vacate the apartment. "Oh, Paul," she sighed, "he's not your parole officer. You can't submit that if you want to get in." How could he have gotten straight A's since starting school in September and write such a letter? But then writing and thinking weren't on his curriculum. It was all multiple choice and memorization. She was sorry that college ended up being like this, which was why she'd come up with the idea that he might take summer classes at UCLA and apply for the honors program. She was worn out. Let other people take over. "Well, Kitten, I'm at a loss. I don't know what to do. Could you give me some help?" Well, of course the letter was touching, but where do you start? "I want you to try and talk like a smart person." She liked to say the shy sullen girls who signed up for her classes, and they laughed and got into it. She'd taken a New York Times subscription for Paul, but the only stories he read were the ones about serial killers. He was highly informed about the difference between killing sprees, which were cool but not very creative, and serial killing. As a rule, serial killers had impressive IQs, whereas the guys who went out on killing sprees were just angry. In either case, the killings occurred in a void where the killer's rational mind just blacked out, and this was very attractive. "All right," she said, clearing her desk. "Give me 25 minutes. I'll figure it out." "Dear Dr. Delaney," Kat wrote us Paul, "I entered UNM last fall to study psychology with the goal of becoming a substance abuse counselor and psychotherapist," etc. She could write the shit in her sleep. "Eventually, I hope to write a PhD based partly on clinical practice that will prepare me to shape new treatment models." The letter accepting him into the program was still in Paul's briefcase when he backed his Nissan ZX out of the driveway. It's the third Tuesday in June. His first UCLA class starts on Monday, and the black Z is packed with things he thinks he might need for the summer. A gym bag, the new Samsonite briefcase, his golf clubs, a new video camera, his laptop, a Ralph Lauren sports coat, a cool gray leather jacket. In his suitcase, he's packed the AA Big Book and a Bible. He can hardly believe his good luck. Less than a year ago, he'd been almost banned from going to school, and now they were letting him into the honors program. Dear Mr. Garcia, congratulations. The selection was highly competitive. 200 applications, 16 places. When had anything in his life gone this smoothly? It just goes to show what good things can happen when you turn your life over to God. Of course he's a fraud, although Kat, a godless atheist, has told him over and over that everyone's a fraud and every profession is founded on bullshit, but that doesn't mean you can't play the game and still do something meaningful. Whatever. When Paul wants to really torture himself, he thinks about the handwritten postscript. This offer is contingent upon your successful completion of additional psychology courses at UCLA this summer with at least a 3.5 GPA. What if the classes were hard and then Kat kicked him out of the house and broke up with him? There was always one shoe waiting to drop. Good things made him feel queasy. Last month, when Paul collected the rents at Mescalero, the number 12 tenant was late and offered to give him a blowjob. He was so fucking relieved to be leaving Albuquerque. The gravel behind the straw bale adobe wall Nick Munoz painted with chevrons was littered with condoms and crack files. Nick himself had disappeared on a bender, and the lesbian couple from Santa Fe left when the sewer pipes broke and shit backed up into the showers. Paul's never been to UCLA, but he imagines it looks like TV whenever the show's set at a